Hello, my name's Terry Chimes, and this is my podcast, RockandRoll Confessions. Today we have another rock drummer for you, and I've known him for 50 years. Please welcome Rat Scabies from The Damned. So, Rat, here we are again, after 50 years. Although we have seen each other along the way, here and there. So, in fact, I last saw you at that Shepherd's Bush thing we did with Vive Le Rock, where Brian James got an award, bless him.
I know, isn't that the kiss of death? You get an award from Viva La Rock and they're dead within 6 months.
Yeah, I'm going to send mine back if I ever get one.
Yeah, I'm not taking it.
It was nice to reconnect with him. He really mellowed, didn't he, with age, Brian?
I don't know if he did really. I think his attitudes stayed the same.
Do you think so? He seemed like really loud in the 80s when I bumped into him.
What, as a human being or as a guitarist?
As a human being, yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe it's just that day I met him and he was a bit weird, but and then he was all sort of humble and really nice.
Yeah.
When we did that show. Oh well.
Yeah, I know. I always think Brian has just been very positive about. You know, you'd always have a definite opinion about something. It was.
Oh yeah.
He never sat on the fence.
He was very worried about COVID though at that time.
Yeah.
Because he had lung issues, so he thought if I get that, that's my lot. So he was.
Well, he had lung cancer, didn't he? And he had the operation and everything. So
yeah,
it had a big effect. Well, it does, you know. He knew he didn't have long left.
Yeah. Well, none of us are here forever. Just as well in some cases.
Well.
So, but now you did that gig, the infamous gig at the 100 Club when we all played, didn't you? The punk rock festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the number of people at that gig, the number of people that say they're at that gig is about 20 times the capacity of the club.
Yeah.
One of those.
I remember it as being maybe 50 people.
50 people?
Max. Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh. Well, what does it hold? 300?
Yeah.
I think it was, well, it was so hot. Maybe it felt like it was more crowded because it was so hot. I don't know.
I don't know. But then I remember the other 100 Club shows with the Pistols and that, because I used to play there. I can't remember what day it was, whether it's Tuesday, but Cookie says it's Thursdays. Anyway, they used to play there every week. And, you know, people sort of think now that punk turned up and the Sex Pistols played and everybody cut their hair off and bought a leather jacket, but it was a very slow turnover.
I think it seemed slow because we were young. It's probably a year, but it seemed like forever because when you're a year and you're rehearsing and trying to get known, a year's a bloody long time when you're 19 or something.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, our turnover was really fast. I was looking at some old posters, you know, and we went from opening at the Roundhouse to headlining within like 3 months or something. It was quite...
Yeah. Well, you were very quick. You got the first single out, I seem to remember.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never sort of thought about that deliberately. That was Jake, really, and
Jake. It was company. Yeah, because we would do rehearsing and negotiating with record companies, do all this, and suddenly you got a single out. Bang, you're early. What? That bloke was on the radio now. I've got to tell you something. I don't know if you know this or not. I've no idea, but you know, Bernard was masterminding the Clash and shaping us the way he wanted. He was trying to kind of create a culture there, a way of thinking, trying to influence the way people were thinking to be the ideal for when we met the public. And for some reason, he took a real dislike to you, not you personally, but your band. Well, and I think maybe he was afraid of competition, maybe he didn't like someone.
I'll tell you
I don't know.
How I remember it was Malcolm and Bernie had worked out that one band was a novelty, 2 bands was okay, and 3 bands was a movement.
Yeah.
And they had the Pistols. Bernie was designing the Clash, shall we say.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, he was already working with Mick and Tony anyway, just through London SS and that stuff.
Yeah.
So they were already kind of in each other's thing. And they wanted the 3rd band, and they wanted the Damned to be it. But we didn't get that whole being constructed thing that Bernie and Malcolm seemed to be so keen on. It was kind of, I remember with Mick, it was always, everything was top secret, you know, he wasn't allowed to tell you who he was working with, and you wouldn't. And I just kind of thought, yeah, that's okay. It's kind of cool, but you know,
Why? Yeah.
you
Well,
can't really tell me what to wear. And
but so just to explain that point, so Bernie had a real dislike of your band for whatever reason, whatever it was, and he would use your band name as a byword for something that's no good. So if someone came up with an idea and it wasn't very good, they go, "Oh no, that's something the Damned would do." Like it's supposed to be. Everyone said, "Oh God, let's not do that." Then it was real. Now, when your single came out, because I hadn't heard you play or anything, when your single came out, I listened to it, and think, "Oh, that sounds all right. What's this big thing about they're so bad?" But of course, it was just
well,
his stuff.
I think it was. I mean, the band members themselves, we were never really competitive. You know, we used to play football with you guys and hang about in Portobello Road on a Saturday. You know, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. No one cared. No one
But
cared
I think
about it.
when money got involved and it became more of a business, then it became a competition. You know, and the thing with it was, Bernie and Malcolm, I think, were very much on the Andrew Loog Oldham conceptualize art. This is, you know, a concept that the kids are going to buy. Whereas Jake Riviera had been Dr. Feelgood's tour manager, and it was like, no, this is what
30
you
years.
do. You get
Yeah.
out on the road, you play to
Yeah, right.
people, and you convince them with your guitars. And so that was sort of where we came from. And I think because of that, and also because Brian was seen as a great, you know, kind of example figurehead, you know, certainly to Mick and to Tony, that I think they felt that loss. That he was a real kind of, well, he was a unique player back then. You know,
He
nobody
was,
played
yeah.
or sounded like him. And I think it was kind of, I think it sort of maybe diluted Bernie's concept of how things were going to work.
He did like a bit of control over what was going on, Bernie. Yes, that's
Well,
where it
yeah.
comes from. Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, how Brian's whole thing was always, you know, the one thing I think I learned from him was about his freedom to do what you wanted and say what you wanted and be what you wanted to be. And if somebody didn't like it, then you'd either adjust, you know, if you wanted them to like you, then you'd stop doing it, or you'd kind of go, well, fuck you,
Tough, yeah.
I'm already on that tip. But it was always about freedom, and people forget that it was about, if your bass player wants to wear a nurse's outfit, then why shouldn't he? You know, it's okay. I don't want to wear one,
I'll give
but
you a few reasons why I shouldn't.
well, you know,
But yeah, do what you like. Yeah.
that was part of the statement of '76 and that whole early movement was there are no rules.
Yeah, I remember seeing the picture of him in nurse outfit. And I remember thinking, what is he doing here? What's this? I was just saying, "Put the hell with it, I'll wear something
Yeah.
crazy." Yeah. But Brian left quite an early stage, didn't he?
Well, the whole thing felt a bit really because it got, well, for me, I left because it got quite tedious. You know, we were playing the same venues, never had enough money, still sharing a room with the captain, never, you know, sitting in some shit van for
Yeah.
8 hours a day or whatever, you know. So I kind of, this isn't what I signed up for. You know, where's the glamour?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, irony really is punk was the most unglamorous thing ever. And so you're there making it big, but you actually, no, this is the unglamorous world of punk rock, and you lot are in the toilets for a changing room. And
Yeah, the touring can get tedious every night. I found it too much. I did a bit of it, but it's too much. But you're doing it now every night. And the Pistols, I think you and the Pistols are vying for the busiest punk band in the world at the moment.
well, we're both doing a lot of shows. I think, you know, while it lasts, it's, well, for me, I'm kind of quite happy to, you know, the arthritis and old age and all of that stuff sets in, and I feel really lucky that I'm able to be walking about and being upright and breathing and able to play still.
Yeah, well, not everyone is, are they?
Yeah, so I'm sort of counting my blessings, and I did sort of put a deadline on. I said I'm not going to go on in the 27, and then when I thought about it, I thought, well, if you can, really, you should.
My mother's nearly 99. She told me ages ago, I don't want to live till I'm 90. I said, well, I'll ask her when you're 89. Of course, you're 89. And then she starts denying that she is that age. I'm slightly worried she might outlive me now. I don't know. We'll see.
You see, my mother's the same. She's 90 this year, and she's doing it out of spite. And they always make these sweet, when I'm gone, I'm like, you ain't going to go. You're going to stick around forever. I know you. You're a stubborn old cow.
Funny, really. You never think about it when you're young. You never think that's ever going to happen.
No.
Or that.
No, I never expected to make it past 30, really.
Well, Sid Vicious, what did we say? I won't make it past 23 or something. I remember reading that, thinking, what are you talking about? Of course you will. And he didn't.
No.
I remember thinking, how the hell did he know he wasn't going to live any longer than that? I mean, I don't know about you. I'm intending to outlive everyone in the punk rock movement.
Yeah,
if I can.
yeah, that's my idea.
I don't really know why. I just think I should.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Do any of us ever really want to think about our own mortality? I don't think we do. I don't.
No, not really.
I don't
Dwell on
like
it.
it.
No, enjoy it while you're here.
Well, make the most of every minute, you know.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
I hate the way musicians always die young, especially drummers, actually, don't they? They always seem to be the first one to die in every band. Have you noticed that?
Well,
Led Zeppelin, The Who.
a lot of them go.
Those of them.
I've just written a song called Dead Drummers Don't Drink, which is a testimony to that, really.
Yeah.
Well, it's, I think drummers get such I think the public have got such a wrong perception of drummers and the personality.
Probably Animal's fault from the Muppets.
It is a big part of it, I think.
I like him, though.
And Ronnie Verrill.
Yeah.
But I also think there's so many drummers I know that run the band.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that make the phone calls, the organising, the fixing up and do it. You know, and people very rarely think of as a drummer as being able to tie their own shoelaces, let alone organise a tour.
Well, I've always said it's best to live with a person who's slightly more tidy than you, because they'll tidy up before you do. And it's the same thing in a band. It's best to be in a band with someone who slightly cares more about getting the job done than you, so they'll do all the work and you just turn up and play.
I don't
So
know.
who does that for you, for your band now? Or you got a manager doing that?
Oh, we've got managers and all of that kind of thing. It's it's a great diminished responsibility being in a band. You don't have to think. You know, you can get drunk on a show, you get obnoxious, you're rude to someone or whatever. But the next day you get in the band, it's all gone.
You just got to keep breathing.
You just as long as you're there, you get up and bang them drums.
I was at a gig once, I don't know where it was, and it was this band Wang Chung, remember them?
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah. I was only at the back of the hall looking, and the drummer was drunk as a skunk, so he couldn't go on stage. So he went on with a drum machine or something, really annoyed that he's got to do this. And then halfway through the set, you see this bloke crawling along the ground at the back, slowly but imperceptibly, aiming at the drum kit. And then you get up there, he sat on it, and he's obviously sloshed. He went, right. Then he got the drumsticks out, started just smashing out some random nonsense. Of course, the rest of the band, they hadn't seen him coming. So they were like, what's this? So I think they might have parted company after that gig. So there's a point beyond which, you can't
it's
stay
redeemable.
in the band.
Yeah. The other thing is, you play in a band and they give you free beer. Alcohol.
That's I remember thinking, wow, we still drink, but now someone else is paying for it.
Well,
Fantastic.
yeah. And to us, the Damned, we never thought it was going to be there the next day. We always thought that was the last load of beer we were ever going to have. So we take everything and drink it out.
Drink it now, yeah.
And then the next day there'd be even more.
So where are you touring now? Apart from the UK, obviously.
Everywhere, really. We just done a bunch of stuff in Europe, Italy, Germany, Budapest.
Budapest, wow.
And then we're off to our next one's New Zealand, Australia, Japan.
Oh my God, you are travelling, aren't you?
And then America, and then back for England, which takes us up to just before Christmas.
What's the next millennium, I think, by the sound of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Blimey.
So yeah, I love the way the band turns when we tour, because it takes about 3 or 4 shows before you really start
warm up,
hitting your pace,
Yeah.
And then we do them. It's one of the things I really love about being in a band now. That we come off stage and everybody's cool. We've all enjoyed doing the show, which wasn't always the case. Sometimes messed up that bit, but now it's quite elated in there.
Well, I suppose you realise the audience aren't going to care.
Well, I
It's
think
some
they
small
do.
mistake or something, but
No, you can't get away with not being good at it. I think
well, it's a
audiences are a great thing. They know what they are, and they know what they're supposed to do, and when and how they're supposed to do it. But the key part of that is that you have to give them what they want.
But have you not had the experience that you do a really bad gig, it's all over the place, so then fans come back stage after and say, "Oh, that's the best gig I've ever seen." You think,
Yeah, but you're not
deaf.
But the thing is, you're not the one to judge.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not your place to
Yeah,
decide.
yeah.
I've had exactly the same thing, and I've
Yeah.
done gigs that I thought were the greatest show on earth.
Yeah.
And everybody's quiet. Nobody says anything, and it's,
Yeah.
should we go back to the hotel? You know, and I've realised it isn't actually my decision to make whether it was any good or not. It's the guy who bought the ticket.
Yeah,
Did he have a
paid the
good
money?
time?
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, fair
and that's how I see it.
And there's a lot of money now, isn't there? I remember paying never paying for a gig really, or it might be a fiver, but that was
Me
it. But
neither.
now it's crazy money.
Yeah, I used to pay to go and see bands that were struggling or were trying to break, you know, in like small venues. I never went on a guest list for those. But the bigger ones who could afford it always. I used to ring up and pretend I was my manager.
Oh yeah.
The thing with it is now, I find it really daunting that nearly every pub that has live music on them are mostly tribute bands.
There's a lot of that, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think that's a real shame because it's very difficult for anybody with musical aspirations now to break. I mean, for us, it was kind of, you could be a criminal, you could be a footballer, you could be in a band. You know, you had a choice of get-rich-quick schemes that if it didn't work out with working, you know. And that all seems to have been taken away. And I think that's...
Oh, life's harder for kids now, for sure. Because if you want a real job, a normal job, you can walk into any bank or any shop and say, "I want a job." They go, "Here you go, bang, start now." Now you've got a whole palaver, haven't you? Interview after interview and all this checks and blimey.
I thought about my CV, you know, it's a punk rock band, 50 years.
Where's your favourite place to tour?
Ooh, I always had a love affair with America.
Yeah, I think we all did.
It's a very different country now. I mean, physically different. You know, all the Art Deco's kind of disappeared. There's not American cars like they used to now. They're all European imports.
Yeah.
The whole food thing and high street thing and the chains of everything has kind of taken over, and it seems to have lost a lot of its personality.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I guess it's something they're going to learn as they go on.
I go there regularly, actually, America, to do seminars, and 3 times a year, and yeah, it's completely changed. In the old days, you went to Texas, you find some tiny little Mexican restaurant, little shack. Some old boy ran it, and he's never been out of Texas in his whole life, and it was fabulous food. Now it's just a chain or a...
Yeah, it's Taco Bell. Yeah, I think that's something I miss, and the uniqueness of things. Everything is pre-manufactured. Like we get to a hotel and there's a few shops around. It's like you're going out for a look around. It's like there's nothing I want here. You know, I don't want your designer shoes. I don't want.
Yeah. How about Italy? Do you like touring Italy? I loved Italy.
Yeah, I hadn't toured there country to country for a long time. You know, around the country.
Yeah.
For a long time, but we played there not long ago, and they still seem to be as confused as always with who should be doing what and how many of it needs to do it.
They can't organise anything there. Yeah. No. But that's part of the charm of it.
Yeah. But we were there opposite the big old castle and people walking around. And
yeah, nice.
What time's the bar open? Oh, not until 8 o'clock. And it's like, oh, okay.
So I'm going back to the beginning when you first thought, I think I'll go and play drums. What prompted that? What did you do to make you think that? Or what did you see?
There was jazz on the radio. I think it was Steve Race had a jazz show that used to be on, and he used to just play. And it was just the sound of the drums one day. I just fell in love with that noise that they made. And then it became a bit of an addiction, and I suppose. And then I remember seeing Eric Delaney on telly.
Oh yeah, you liked a lot of drums.
And then 2 bass drums and symphonies.
Yeah. He was a funny character, wasn't he?
Mm.
I never met him, but it was very strange.
No, it was weird because you watch the videos and he does this kind of family jazz thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
he would do a bonkers drum solo and say, "Right now, the rest is for you to dance to your pleasure."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
character.
the two bass drums was the inspiration for a lot of people.
Yeah, I always loved the look of two bass drums.
Well, yeah. I mean, I tried it for a bit, mostly because I was getting free kits.
Yeah.
So I have two of them.
Yeah.
Just because you could. And but I couldn't ever really play with the two. And I realised when you go to with your right foot, everybody thinks you can only do it because you've got two bass drums. So a lot of your capability gets knocked out, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, there's a bit of a funny snobbery about two bass drums, isn't there, amongst drummers? You know, if you can play properly, you don't need a second one.
Well, yeah, and it depends what you're doing as well. I mean, if you're in Tool, then it's probably a good idea. But, you know, when you're doing a damn set, you know, it's kind of, I've sort of simplified a lot of things I do because without gut banging, you know, when you get a kind of bigger audience, you don't want you know, on the kick all the time. You know, it's too much.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're often overused. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of I simplified a lot of things, which I makes life a bit easier, you know. But it's you know, for some things you know, it's the way I know how it's done, and it's the easiest way, and it always looks good. But unless I could sort of justify it, it's always kind of like more drums and talent, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is that.
I used to go and watch Ginger Baker playing things, and he was famous.
You know,
Two kids put together.
I never met him, but he was such an annoying person. I just couldn't stomach to listen to him because he was so. You know, we did interviews and he bullied journalists, young journalists. And it made me think, oh no, yeah, I don't like you at all. So, there aren't many people that really turn me off like that, but he did.
He did have a good side.
Yeah, because everyone's got a good side.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he wasn't always a complete bastard. It was,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't suffer much, gladly. But I first saw him was with Ginger Baker's Air Force.
Yeah.
The first person to bring African music to Europe, and that was with Fela Kuti playing with them, and he had.
Yeah. He lost a fortune there,
Feels
didn't he, in
bad.
Africa doing stuff?
He
Was
did
it
in
production?
Africa. He tried to build recording studios, and I mean, yeah. So he told me some of the things, you know, the military actually coming in through the front door while he's leaving it out of the back and having to just desert everything because they were going to kill him.
Yeah, yeah.
Mostly because of his political affiliations with Fela Kuti and that whole thing. And, you know, he had his teeth knocked out in a bar fight because, you know, they wouldn't serve one of the black guys in the band. And he had this kind of side, but the side that everybody ever heard about him was the nasty side, which he didn't mind showing in public. It was kind of almost like a defence mechanism, I
I
think.
wouldn't have cared if he was nasty to me because I'd have said, you know, I just don't want to stuff it. But young, inexperienced journalists that are very, you know, easily target a bully.
But then I guess, you know, he was addicted to everything at one point or another. You know, I guess your mind sort of works in maybe, you know, he's just been rewired.
Yeah, yeah. How old was he when he died? He went on a fair while, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't this young death thing?
No, he was still going. He used to say it was God's way of punishing him.
Just keeping him alive, yeah.
Keeping him alive.
Yeah, I guess it was. I'm hoping for more punishment for a while.
But he totally, you know, it's funny, isn't it? You know, that Michael Jackson, everyone forgets about the paedophilia and they listen to the records. There's kind of an excuse built in for people that are bad.
Well,
That if they make good records, actually, they seem to kind of get excused.
I've had people say, yeah, his music was so good, though, it's okay. I'm thinking, no, it's not okay.
No, it isn't.
You know, but I had a thing on my social media when I was talking about him, Michael Jackson, and we shouldn't be playing his records, but they do. And they all say, yes, but he was never convicted. And no, but nor was Jimmy Savile, but we all know what he was up to.
Yeah.
But then I compared it with the Roman Polanski, the film director, great director. He had sex with a 13-year-old girl in America. He can never go back there, can he? Because he'd be nicked. And is that the same? I think, I don't know.
It's weird. There's different levels of
Abuse.
The more successful you are, the more forgiven you are. But Baker's bad behaviour as far as that went. I think, defence mechanism, drink, drugs, and he'd been in the biggest, most groundbreaking band in the world. I think success is a funny thing for the head.
Yeah.
Because you have to change. You can't stay the same. Fundamentally, you think you do, but actually you can't, because everything is now different around you. The way people see you, perceive you, what they do for you, what they don't want to do for you. It's all. And I guess when you get to that point where your royalty check's so big, just the stories of $1 million checks being lost down the back of couches and found a year later. Because, when you get to that kind of, how many cars and houses and TVs do you need? And when you get to that, what do you start thinking to yourself about? What do you do?
I'd like to find out. But I think if you've got a house and a car and some money coming in, that's all you need, really, isn't it?
Really, food on the table.
Yeah.
But you have to do something, when when I wasn't working with the Damned and I was doing other things. I mean, one of the things, I started making guitars out of cigar boxes.
All right.
Incredibly therapeutic, completely unprofitable, but...
These are wooden boxes, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
but it was a really good thing to do, because I suddenly had to solve everything myself. I had to work out, I had to measure, I had to make decisions about how to do things and stuff. I know they're only stupid guitars, but... That was a really good thing. And I realised then, that retirement is actually probably really boring if you don't have anything else to fill your time.
You need a purpose, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to.
But you've got children, haven't you? Grown up, though. But,
yeah.
So there's something there to do. I expect to be busy with my kids forever now, I imagine.
How many do you have?
2.
And
Boy and girl. There's 11-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl.
Well, the fun's just about to begin.
Yeah, I think I'm in the nice phase when they do as they're told and they're nice.
Yeah.
Teenage years hit and God knows what's going to happen. Actually, when I had a daughter, I emailed all my American pals, said, I've got a daughter, so I need a shotgun. So they emailed back saying, we've got daughters and shotguns and they don't work, which is a slight worry.
Well, I don't know. I did my best with mine, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, you never really get them to be what you want.
It's the ultimate challenge, I suppose, bringing up a child.
Yeah.
Doing it right, not having regrets is hard.
And the idea is to bring up a well-balanced, educated child that's going to contribute to society, and that's the plan. And then you put them in secondary school and everything changes. They go from being the biggest, fastest, smartest kid in the school to being the smallest, slowest and most stupid. It's... a massive adjustment. I really don't agree with that in our education system. I think they should stay, day one till the very end should be the same group. I think that's...
Yeah, I suppose so, but it depends where you are. But a lot of people go to that school or that school to the point of what they do or what they don't do. They might be sport mad or music mad or academic or whatever. So
or in a farming community, they learn much more about organic and chemistry and biology. That's that's kind of a given. But if the same people from the same area, it's a sort of Dr. Desmond Morris community theory.
Oh, blimey, that's a blast from the past.
Well, he had this thing that
the naked ape.
We live tribally, and most of us have 150 friends or thereabouts,
Right.
which is the size of a functioning tribe.
It's a lot of Christmas cards.
It's a lot of Christmas cards. You can think of something to replace them.
Yeah.
Just shove a tree up and then burn it. But the point he was making, and it's one I've always agreed with, is that there's a certain limit to your social group, and that should be something that's sustained, as always was back before we built houses and communities. It was a tribal community that would just drift to wherever the food was and the best resources were.
Yeah, but now we've got the internet. There's all sorts of crazy sized communities of all sorts.
It's wonderful.
It's good and bad, I suppose. It's good and bad, isn't it?
Yeah, but the internet, everything, you don't know what's real and what isn't.
Oh no, there's loads of fake stuff. You just assume it was fake, and
But even on Wikipedia, there is no definitive honesty.
Oh no, definitely not there. No.
You go on. And I use it constantly, for researching and doing stuff, what day was this built and that kind of thing. So it's good on the kind of the peripheral, not very important stuff, but I think if it comes to anything that means anything. I mean, this is part of the paranoia about AI now. There's just so many videos of gorillas playing electric guitars or
Yeah.
a 6-year-old baby playing a
Yeah.
drum,
Well, there's dangerous stuff as well. There's like youngsters cuddling a brown bear, and you do not want to cuddle a brown bear.
No, you
So
don't.
You shouldn't be showing them that they're harmless.
Yeah, I put one, which was Rod Stewart being attacked by the Queen's corgis. Which was, it came out very well. There was Rod, and there were the dogs hanging onto his ankles. I mean,
Could be true.
it's some amazing sort of comedy aspects to it. But you think, like the first Star Wars movie, when they hit the accelerator and they went into light speed, and all of the lights turned into lines. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I'm not really a big Star Wars person. I still
that
can't
one
understand
scene-
which comes in which order.
But that was the first kind of wow special effects that came on, and it was. But now
That's old hat.
you can have, anything you want. I mean, dragons and fire.
Oh yeah, anything. Yeah.
People floating. I've seen some church services where one of the congregation gets possessed and crawls up a sheer wall, and it won't take long before it's in the wrong hands and people are manipulating it much more cleverly than that. At the moment, it's a novelty.
Oh, it's going to go a long way. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll still be alive to see all that, I suppose, when it goes, because it's going fast. You can now buy a copy of my autobiography, The Strange Case of Dr. Terry and Mr. Chimes. It's £12 for a signed copy, plus postage. If you want one, you just go to terrychimes.com.